Hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you had a good night tonight. If you don't know who I am, my name is Shook. I make videos for NBA. All these videos that get posted on this subreddit right here. I make updates with all the news that comes out throughout the day. You can ask me questions about the slate. Anything you need, I'll have this link down below. And if you ever need to get a hold of me privately, you can get a hold of me on Twitter right there. So before we get into the slate, we'll recap my last 2 days. And if you're looking for more in-depth content where I give you guys cores, player pools, night slate content, showdown cores, night cores, prize picks content, sportsbooks content, I'll have my Discord link down below. This was yesterday. I absolutely nuked yesterday. There's even more, but I didn't want to take like 100 pictures. But really good day yesterday. We were having a really good day today. And then prize picks, we absolutely nuked. This is what we took yesterday. We took it all in sports books as well. Another sweep. So it's been a print fest. It's been really fun. So let's look at my lineups from tonight, and it's going to be another pretty good night for me. This was my one lineup. I went with my core today was Jason Tatum smash, Daniel Gafford smash, Trace Jackson Davis smash, and then I told everyone to get to at least one of Jeremy Sochan or Keldon Johnson. This lineup's going to easily cash, and this was my other lineup, going to easily cash as well. Same core, I just have a lot more Spurs in this lineup, so it's going to be a great night overall. Hopefully you guys had a great night, and let's get right into this 7-game slate I believe we have here. So let's go regular side this time. So really good matchup here for Atlanta. I'm pretty high on these main guys. C.J. McCollum, Brandon Ingram, Zion Williamson. I think all three are too cheap given the matchup. Atlanta, they don't play a ton of defense. These three are going to dominate the usage. C.J. McCollum, he's been their worst of late fantasy-wise, but I still think he's decent at 6.7K. I'd much prefer getting up to like a Zion Williamson or Brandon Ingram just because these two are going to be more dominating the usage. And in competitive games, Zion's minutes have been up of late. So I'm really high on both these guys for tournaments. We'll see what their ownership's going to come in at. Like if Zion's way more popular than Ingram, you can always go to like a Brandon Ingram, right? If Ingram's more popular than Zion, you go to like a Zion. Like I think it's a good spot for both of them. No Jalen Johnson on the other side of Atlanta either. So yeah, I'm definitely pretty high on both the main Pels here. But CJ is firmly in play as well. As far as value goes for the Pels, not high on too much. I mean, Jonas Valanciunas Nance still kind of split the center position. He's 5.9K. If you think he gets it done in like 22 minutes, sure, it's fine. I actually do think Nance is a solid value for this slate. I think there's better value. I just did a look over the slate. I know there's better value. We have Rashawn Holmes, we have the Cleveland guys, but like I will mention Nance as a playable value at that price point. Trey Murphy has just been on another level of late. I'll let people chase that. I'm not going to pay that price point for Trey Murphy. Herb Jones, I think, is priced right. So it's mainly personally for me, like if you want to go to Nance, that's fine. And then I think the main three look pretty solid there. Moving on to Atlanta, so DeJounte Murray is probable. We're still going to be without Jalen Johnson. Onyeka Okongwu. The last game they did start Vit Krejci. If you guys are unfamiliar with Vit Krejci, he Oklahoma City Thunder GOAT. He would absolutely crush when the OKC Thunder were tanking. And Vit Krejci, I don't know if you guys remember this, but when the OKC Thunder were tanking, they would pull players for playing too good. And Vit Krejci one time, he hit back-to-back threes, and then because he was playing too good, they pulled him. Pretty funny there, but I thought I mentioned that. But they did start Vit Krejci last game. They went with starting lineup of Vit Krejci just over DeAndre Hunter and the main guys. So if they go with the same starting lineup, I mean, yeah, you can go to Vit Krejci. His rates are going to be really bad playing alongside the starters, but I mean, you know, he's kind of a stat sheet stuffer. It's okay, I guess. Not going to play huge minutes. They're kind of just going to run their main guys, but he is playable if he starts again. The guy that I'm high on once again here is, well, there's a couple guys I'm high on, but I'm pretty high on Saddiq Bey once again here, especially after he burned everyone last slate. He's going to play close to 40 minutes. He's a good rebounder. He just needs to put the ball in the damn basket. I doubt anyone's going to want to play him tomorrow, so I do like him as a bounce back candidate in tournaments. Not the best spot here going up against the Pelicans, but yeah, if no one's going to play him, I think he's a really good tournament play. DeJounte Murray, I mean, he's going to do everything for this team. I still do like him at 9.5K. His usage, obviously without Trae Young, is just way, way up. They're running a really tight rotation in competitive games as well. So I'm still very, very high on DeJounte Murray, even in this matchup. Bogdanovich is fine. One game, he's just going to shoot 70% from the field and absolutely nuke the slate. And I feel like this could be the game, like, because nobody's going to play him, but still in play for tournaments. Not going to go out of my way to play him like I have in the past. If you ask me, Sadiq Bey or Bogdanovich, it's close. It's kind of a coin flip for me. And then Capella should get a bit of a bump. Probably plays high 20s minutes. I like him once again at 6K. You give him 27 minutes again, he's still too cheap. So I still do like Capella at that price point. Bruno Fernando, he'll get the backup 5. He is a okay value at that price point. And then DeAndre Hunter, if he comes off the bench, he was on a limit last game, so kind of hard to go there if he's only going to play like 28, 29 minutes or so. So, all right, let's move on to Houston, Sacramento. Like the spot here for the Houston guys. I mean, the good thing with Houston is they're also running a really tight rotation in competitive games. This game was a bit of a blowout, but Sengun going to play close to 40 minutes in a competitive game. Fred, we know, is going to play huge minutes. Jalen Green's minutes have been way, way up of late. Jabari with no Tari Eason is going to play massive, massive minutes. You're going to see a bit of Amen Thompson off the bench. Dylan Brooks will play low 30s minutes. Cam Whitmore will be in the rotation. He'll play low 20s minutes. So, with that being said, I do like Fred. I do like Sengun. I think they're both good point per dollar plays. I think it's a bit easier to get to Fred VanVleet at this price point, but I do prefer Sengun straight up, obviously. And then Jalen Green's been absolutely on fire. He's playing huge minutes as well. I believe he's leading this team in usage right now, too. I'd have to check, but I think that's correct. But yeah, going to play close to 40 minutes. He's absolutely going to chuck when he's out there. Probably going to shoot the ball 20 plus times. So yeah, I think Jalen Green's very, very safe, just as long as he hits the shots. Jabari Smith's fine. I think I'd rather pay up for like Jalen Green or Fred VanVleet though. And then Amen Thompson, Cam Whitmore. Now that the price points are down, I think they're both firmly in play for value. Amen should play around 20 minutes. We know he's a really solid point per minute guy. We know Whitmore should play around 20 minutes. He's another good point per minute guy. So yeah, these guys are firmly in play for value. Dylan Brooks, I mean, he's just horrible. I'd honestly rather play Cam Whitmore or Amen Thompson right now over Dylan Brooks. So yeah, let's move on to Sacramento here. I mean, this guy's just incredible. He's incredible. Looking at the spend ups, I mean, Sabonis, SGA, I think are your top 2 options right now if you're paying up all the way at the top. Nobody has the floor and ceiling that Sabonis has in the slate right now. Same with SGA. So, yeah, I mean, I think Sabonis is a really solid spend up if you're going all the way up to the top. De'Aaron Fox at 9.2K. I think I'd rather get up to Sabonis now that they're closer on price point. Still firmly in play. Malik Monk, I would say, is priced right now for his role, but he still does have 40, 50 fantasy point upside. I mean, his usage off the bench is really, really good. He's stuffing the stat sheet. So, still in play, but just at 6.7K, I think it's probably right. Keegan Murray should play high 30s minutes, just there for me. And then Kevin Huerter, his minutes all over the place. Harrison Barnes, his minutes all over the place. I will say if you do get the game where they extend him at this price point, he will break the slate. So like Kevin Huerter is definitely a bit intriguing because they will go with the hot hand between like, you know, Keegan Barnes and Huerter. Lyles, no thank you. I think I'd rather just get to other value. Moving on to Indiana, so not a good spot here going up against Orlando, but yeah, 9K Halliburton I think is fine. He played 37 minutes last game. That game did not go into overtime, right? Let me check. I don't think it did. You're bad. Okay, so 37 minutes in regulation. I believe this is 36 minutes in regulation as well. So like it seems like he's back to full go here. If he's going to continue to get close to 40 minutes, he is too cheap at 9K. So I do like Halliburton up there at the top. Siakam, price right for me. Miles Turner, his minutes aren't great right now, so hard to go there. Neesmith, I think, is very, very safe, especially with no Benedict Mathurin. He's going to play over 30 minutes. Not going to be the highest usage player out there, but very, very safe. I don't mind that for value. Nembhard should play around 30 minutes. I think I prefer Neesmith, but both are fine options. And then I'll mention Jalen Smith. He's getting the backup 5 right now. He should play especially with Miles Turner Smith's kind of trending down a bit. He should play around 20 minutes. I think he's a solid value as well. Miles got into foul trouble this game, but as you can see, he's not really playing over 30 minutes. So Jalen Smith will get the rest. He'll play like 18 to 20 minutes. Good point per minute guy, about a fantasy point per minute guy. So yeah, I think Jalen is perfectly fine for value. And then Ben Shepherd should play around 20 minutes. He's in play. But I'd rather get to like a Jalen Smith, right? Moving on to Orlando, so the big piece of news to keep an eye on here is Jalen Suggs and Markelle Fultz. If they're both out, that's going to make Cole Anthony a really, really good play at 4.7K. He's going to have to play a lot more. We know he's a really solid point per minute guy, so I'd be really, really high on Cole Anthony if those guys are out. They've been starting Anthony Black. I'm not going to play Anthony Black, but if those two guys are out, he probably have to play a ton. Gary Harris has a ceiling if he's hitting a shot, it's fine. And then I really like Paolo and I really like Franz going up against the Pacers. Prefer Paolo straight up. Point per dollar, I think I still prefer Paolo, but I think both are solid options. And then Wendell Jr. and Mo Wagner, they're kind of going to split the center position. I think I'd rather just get up to like Wendell Jr. just because they're this close in price point. But yeah, I think Wendell Jr. is a decent point per dollar option as well. Moving on to Washington, so keep an eye on starting lineup here. I would assume they just go back to Richaun Holmes. I mean, he played really, really well. He played 36 minutes as well. So assuming he does start, I think he stands out as one of the best value plays in the slate. So I still love Holmes at 4.7K. And then Jordan Poole, I mean, been incredible off the bench. We'll see what his ownership comes in at. I thought he was a horrible play last game. He was giga chalk. Different matchup here, especially up against Miami as well. So if Jordan Poole is going to be like really, really popular tomorrow, I'd rather just not click him, right? But can't argue with what he's been doing of late off the bench. So I have no issue if you want to play Poole at 6.5K. I will not be doing it though. Kuzma, Denny, they're just there for me. Don't love the spot either. Tyus, he did not close last game. Not entirely sure what happened. Just didn't close. I think it was because Poole was playing really well. Richaun Holmes was playing really well. Kispert should see around 30 minutes off the bench. I think he's a decent value. And then Koulibaly, he's been starting. He is a playable value, but I might prefer Kispert over Koulibaly. Don't know if I go to much else here, though. Moving on to Miami. So I'm really, really high on Butler. I'm really, really high on Bam. You guys know I always love targeting Washington, no matter who's starting a center for bigs going up against them. So Bam, Butler, I think both look great. Both look good. Bam only played 31 minutes last game. Not sure what that was about. I think they closed with like Caleb Martin, Jovic, Jamie. They did like a weird closing lineup. I think it was, I have it up. I want to say it was Caleb, Jamie, Butler. Okay. Is this it? Yeah, Caleb, Jamie. Okay, Bam did close. Butler. And then Jovic played 30 minutes, did not close. Okay. I guess I thought wrong, but really, really good spot here. So Butler, 8.4K. His usage has been way up of late. His potentials have been great of late. His minutes are up of late. Miami's running a really tight rotation. 8.4K. I still think is a reasonable price point. Close to a triple-double last game. So yeah, I think Butler is a very solid play. I think Bam Adebayo is a really solid play at 8.2K as well. I think I prefer probably Butler, but I think Bam's firmly in play. Terry Rozier playing huge minutes as well. Probably my least favorite of the main three, but I still think it's fine. And then it's tough trying to figure out the rest. Like Duncan, we know has a ceiling. Played 28 minutes last game, had a bad game. This is the floor that he has, but he also does have 40 fantasy point upside. So I think you have to have interest in tournaments. Just the floor is low. Jamie should play high 20s minutes off the bench. 5.2K seems right for him. Caleb, no thank you. I think I'd rather play Jamie, and then Jovic is playable. Minutes up, down, but playable. All right, let's move on to Memphis. I mean, it's just hard to say right now. It's impossible to go over. I'll make updates on Reddit, but if all these guys are out, then that's, we're loading up here. Then, Jaren Jackson looks good. Vince Williams going to have to do a lot. Aldama's minutes would have to be secure. And we're also going to keep an eye on who's going to be inactive. They've been trolling the inactive reports. Some games Jamison's inactive, some games Jamison's active, some games Goodwin's active, some games Goodwin's not, and it's not being reported. It's like all that stuff I'll be updating on Reddit for the inactives. When I do find that stuff in Discord, Reddit, all that good stuff. They have Wendy and Gabriel now, so it's just really, really tough to say. But if all these guys are out, then, Laravia is going to have to play a ton. Santi Aldama is going to have to play a ton. The main guys are going to have to play a ton. Vince, Jaren Jackson Jr. We'll see who's inactive, who's not, but they could be really thin here. This could be a spot where we're just going to have to play some Memphis. So I'll make updates on Reddit. It's just really, really hard to say right now. Moving on to OKC, so really good spot here. I think SGA is right up there with bonuses, probably the best spend up on the slate. I don't know if either are going to be owned either, but yeah, I think SGA looks very, very solid. Chet Holmgren at 7.5K. His minutes have been up of late as well. I like the spot here going up against Memphis. Good shot blocker. Can get you a double-double, although pretty rare, but yeah, has a huge ceiling. I like the spot here up against Memphis. You guys know when Chet's always in good spots, I always like him in GPPs. So yeah, I think Chet's solid. Definitely prefer him over Jalen Williams. Josh Giddey should see low 20s minutes. I think he's probably priced right. I don't know if I touch the value here. I will mention Gordon Hayward, who should see high teens minutes. I guess it's doable for salary relief. All right, last set of games, back-to-back here. I guess we could see Cam Thomas rest unless they say he hasn't. We'll see, but they said they would be limited tonight, but he played like 30-something minutes tonight, so not entirely sure what that was about, but it's a really, really bad spot here. So if Cam Thomas is out, it's going to cap the ceiling on Dennis Schroeder, even though Schroeder had a good game tonight. Don't love the spot for Claxton. Mikel's going to play 50 minutes and do nothing with it. Is Lonnie Walker out? Keep an eye on Lonnie Walker. It's an illness there. Cam Johnson's going to remain out. They have De'Aaron Sharp. I mean, this team doesn't look great. I don't think too much stands out to me. Keep an eye on if, I guess, Cam Thomas could sit to back-to-back. I'm not even sure what his injury is. Is it an illness or an injury? Ankle and foot. I guess keep an eye on it. If he's out, then we can start considering like Schroeder. I mean, Dorian Finney-Smith played 40 minutes tonight, but he's 5K. Yeah, just pretty unappealing team there for Brooklyn. Let's move on to Cavs, and I think this is one of the better teams to target on the slate. So no Mitchell, no Mobley, no Strauss. I think Niang stands out as a really solid value of 4.4K. I'm pretty high on him. Dean Wade's playable. Okoro played huge minutes. He's firmly in play. LeVert, even at this price point, is going to play close to 40 minutes. I like him quite a bit. Garland, Jared Allen, I think are really solid plays. So this team looks really, really solid here going up against Brooklyn. All right, last game here, Sixers at Knicks. Not a good spot here. I mean, Tobias Harris has just been up. He's been down, but no Maxey, no Embiid. He should be their go-to guy. Definitely have interest for tournaments. I think my favorite play point per dollar once again here is going to be Kelly Oubre at 6.5K. He's just going to chuck when he's out there in a competitive game. He will play close to 40 minutes as well. He did start last game as well, but I think both the top two guys are fine. Buddy Hield, I think, is priced right. Paul Reed, whether he starts or comes off the bench, should see high 20s minutes. He does have this type of ceiling. They might need him out there up against the Knicks as well. So interesting for GPPs, but I would say he's priced right. Kyle Lowry's priced right, and I don't think I can go to much else. All right, let's move on to the Knicks. So it's basically just Brunson for me up at the top that I think is a really, really good spend up. I don't like much else. Everyone's just overpriced with Brunson back. So yeah, that's going to wrap it up for the slate. I hope you guys had a great night tonight, and I will talk to y'all in the next video. I should have a prize picks video out soon too. So talk to you guys later.